I want to start off this video by showing y'all my Hoya Croniana. I was away this weekend and I came back to so many of the peduncles having popped out, and the ones that haven't popped out yet are like in the process of it, and I'm just so excited for it. Like, it looks so good and it smells amazing. It smells like I've lit a candle in my home. That's how much it smells, and I love watching these ones. It's so great. Also, I love how they're all kind of concentrated right here in this zone. I've got one up at the top, but they're all pretty much in this bottom half, which I find very interesting, but also very exciting. I'm just so happy about this, so excited, so ready for spring. I feel like this, to me, indicates that it's spring. It's here. I think it's official. I'm counting it as official, even if it's not. Actually, I'm pretty sure the 21st or the 22nd of March is actually the first day of spring, like technically. So maybe we are in spring. I'm counting it. I'm taking it. But I have a whole heck of a lot of plant chores that I wanted to get done with y'all today. I want to give my moss poles like a big sort of shower. I haven't showered off my moss poles in so long, but I feel like they deserve a really good drenching, and I can like clean off the leaves and stuff while I do it. And I also have some things that I need to repot in semihydro and no drainage. My alocasia stingray desperately needs it. I might do my regal as well, because I got some new like big indicators for no drainage pots, and I want to put a better one in because I'll actually be able to see when it needs water as opposed to just like vibing it, which I mean, works so far, but like, it'd be easier if it wasn't. So yeah, I got that and like a couple other bits and bobs throughout the rest of the day, kind of whatever we sort of get up to, I'll be showing you. But before we get into it, I want to say, if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. If you're interested in getting notified when I post new videos, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button and YouTube will tell you when I post, which is exciting. But otherwise, I say let's get straight into it. And I think I'm gonna start with the moss poles because that's what's gonna take the most time, because I'll have to like leave them in the shower for ages. But I think before I even do that, I want to pop some more moss in some of them because they're growing quickly. So I think I'll start with the ones in here because I know they definitely need some more moss. And I know I'm gonna get moss all over the floor regardless of whether or not I put a mat down, but I may as well at least like try to be clean, right? So pop that down. And let's go for, oh my gosh, these have gotten so big. Also, I should show you, I've popped a bit of garden wire between one of the ceiling clips and the shelf down there to hold the glorious and kind of the dubia in place as well, because they can get quite top heavy sometimes and I really don't want them falling over. So I've just done this for a little bit of protection for my plants. I mean, it doesn't look amazing. I feel like ideally I'd do it with a bit of white string, but it does the job. Definitely need to remove all of the predatory mite sachets, which, I mean, I think that's another reason why I haven't showered my plants off in a while, because using the predatory mite sachets, you don't really want to, you don't want to be rinsing your plants, because then you're like getting rid of the sachets, if that makes sense. Or not the sachets, but like, you're getting rid of the predatory mites. So it's kind of like feels a bit pointless. But I feel like I've had these for a few weeks now and they'll be fine. It might be easiest if I just kind of pull it from the top. What's falling over about pulling up? Okay, good. talk about this plant for a second. And again, it's taller than me, the moss pole now. Actually, the physical plant is taller than me now. You can't even see. The physical plant is taller than me. I freaking love it. But I need to pop some more moss in the top of the pole because I've got some nodes that are exposed. You know what, this is, I know I very recently actually put this pole on here, but it's not that I regret it, because I don't, but I feel like it's really unruly. So it's kind of annoying, but it's okay. Let's pop some moss in. I'm just really pleased with this Glorious in general. I mean, y'all know it's one of my absolute favorite plants, but I love that I've been able to like get it so bushy just by chopping and propping it so many times. I feel like it makes such a difference to the plant when it looks full, as opposed to just having like one strand, which I mean is like fine. It's fine for it to have one strand, but I feel like it's a little bit boring when I want it to like look beautiful and full like this. Okay, that should suffice for now, I think. Wait, can you stand up on your own? Oh, that's great. Okay, probably not for long. I wouldn't trust it. And then I'm just gonna attach that node there. I've got like a little dragonfly clip. I'm just gonna do that to make sure it's close enough to the moss that it can root in, hopefully. Also, I'm glad I've done the moss before rinsing them off, because I'm going to absolutely, like, the moss just gets everywhere, and so it'll be nice to have everything be clean after that. So let's pop this to the side. Ah. Okay, you safe there? Let's hope. And then we can do the dubia as well. Oh, I attached it, didn't I? Oh no! Oh no! I was just, like, I knew it was coming out with a new leaf, but this leaf is just like fully brown and rotted. I don't think I like knocked it or anything. It's like sludgy as well. Okay, well, I'm gonna chop that. Oh, that's such a shame. I'm sure it was gonna be like a massive one. I don't think it's to do with pests. I do check this one quite regularly for them, because it's like right up next to my desk, and so it's quite easy to check on. I guess I don't need to... I don't need to add more moss to it then, because it doesn't have that leaf anymore. I don't know why it's happening. It's quite possible that it is because I put the new moss pole on while it was coming out, and it just like freaked out a little bit. So that's a bit of a shame, but it's okay. It'll be fine. It'll get over it, I'm sure. But I'm probably gonna take the plastic off of this pole as well, because it has been really nice having the plastic on it, but now that it's living in right next to my desk, I don't like looking at it. Oh my goodness. And I will be able to actually see these roots. Those are insane. Oh my god, I love dubia roots so much. I think I'll definitely use the plastic wrap hack again in the future, especially if I'm going away. I feel like it makes a lot of sense just because it allows the pole to stay so much more moist. And for something where you do only have one strand of it going up, like my dubia, like, because there's loads of internodal space, it's quite easy to like get the plastic around and really get it secure on there. And it has done quite a good job. Like, the pole down here is not, it's not dry all the way still, even though I haven't watered it in a little bit. But, oh my goodness, that root goes all the way down and then into the bottom of the pot. Oh, I love this plant. It's so nice. Okay. We'll water that one too. Just pop it in here for right now. Sorry, it's not 10 a.m. yet, and so the the lights haven't turned on, my grow lights. I will also water my Repotting Tendersperma, but I, like, right now it's just in the way. Will you stay there? Okay, cool. The next one that I really need to do something with and like properly water and extend the moss pole, maybe, or chop and prop. My splendid, oh! Okay, yeah, you can see it has gone well over the top of this pole. It's given me a beautiful big leaf and a new one on the way, and I feel like a chop and prop is in order, because then I could pop this top cutting back down in the bottom instead of doing a chop and extend. I feel like that would be the best option for it, because like otherwise I'd have to extend this pole quite a lot, and it's already quite tall, so I don't feel like I have the capacity for it. But I don't think I'm gonna chop it. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll air layer it, since I've got loads of plastic down there. But what I will do is I will air layer one of these nodes, probably this node here, the like last one that's not attached. I'll air layer that one, and if I air layer that and it roots, then I can pop it down into the bottom much more easily. It's just got massive internodal space as well, just because it's not very close to a light. Okay. Quite convenient that I have loads of plastic. Okay. Do you see how much that bends? Oh my god, okay. Okay, one second. Chaos. Maybe I air layer afterwards, or do I just cut it? That's always the scariest thing. Maybe I should just cut it and then propagate it normally, not air layer it. Sorry, I feel like I'm, this isn't an instructional video, this is just me talking through my thought process with y'all. I feel like cutting it makes, because it is so unsteady, cutting it just kind of makes the most sense right this second. And I can propagate it and get it to be in a better place. Okay, let's do that. So I'm just going to chop about, I mean, there's loads of internodal space here, so it doesn't really matter where I chop it, but I think I'm going to chop it quite low, like that. So I now have this beautiful top piece. Ah. Okay. I was gonna pop it straight in, but I might let this callus over just a little bit. Maybe for like an hour or two. I don't think I necessarily need to, but I would like to. and then I can pop the cutting in my cup of moss that I've started here. Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. Gosh, I'm just so proud that it's gotten so big. Ah, love it. Okay, I guess let's just get these moss poles to the bathroom to have a really, really long, intense, let's call it a spa day. They're having a spa day in the bathroom where they're getting really nice and watered, really pampered, cleaned up, and like fully soaked. This is kind of outrageous how big these are at this point. Okay, I might do them one at a time and then shift them. What I really need in this one is a giant stake, because it just bends if I lean it too much, and I feel like a stake would really help. I don't have one right now, but I could go to the plant shop and see if I can get a big stake, because I feel like that might be worth my while, because this just bends so much. I mean, I'll have to just leave it for now, but I mean, it's not ideal. I'm just worried it's gonna fall over because it's so bendy that it'll like shift and then fall over, which I don't want. But it's just gonna have to be for now. See, that's what I didn't want to happen. Okay, one second. Frick. You stay. Oh, I don't know what to do. Okay, I managed to get it to stand. That's just gonna have to be what it is, because I can't lean it against anything right this second. It'll be fine, I think. I just need to be very careful while I'm doing the other two. I was gonna do my Save It Blue as well, and the ones in the living room, but I don't think I'll have enough space. Oh my god, my shower's gonna be so full of like very beautiful plants, but so full. My beautiful shower full of amazing plants. I'm just gonna let these soak for a little while now, and I might give them another shower in a little bit depending how well they're doing, but for now I'm just gonna let these soak, drip out, drain, and I guess, let me see if the plant shop is open because I could get a thing for this. I'm really scared it's gonna fall over while I'm away though, because that would be not catastrophic, but like pretty freaking bad. I would really not like that to happen. So hopefully that is sturdy enough. I don't know what I could do to, other than taking it out of the shower, but then it's just gonna drip all over the floor. So I don't really feel like I have another option for it other than just leaving it and crossing my fingers. So I just got back from the plant shop, and unfortunately they only had bamboo stakes, which I ended up getting because I'd rather something than nothing. I am a little bit concerned that because they're like an organic material, and if they're staying wet like in a moss pole, that they're not gonna be like a long-term solution, but it's kind of what I can get for now, and I can worry about getting plastic ones in the future. Like, it's a bit of a shame they didn't have plastic ones, but I got 3 gigantic. They're 6 foot, because I'm 5'9", and they're a little bit taller than me. So yeah, 6 foot stakes. I think that'll be perfect for what I need. It's just a bit of a shame that they didn't have plastic ones, but we can put these in when I take those out of the shower. I think I'll definitely put one in the Glorious, and then maybe one into the Dubia. I might need to break it down, like saw it, cut it shorter, because my Dubia is not this tall yet. But yeah, I think this is just a temporary fix, but it'll just have to do for now, unfortunately. While we wait for those to dry a bit, I think it is time. It's definitely time, long overdue probably, to get my Alocasia Stingray into a new vessel. You can see it's got so many roots. I'm gonna have some corms in here. That pink thing's a corm, but like the roots are just outrageous. Look at that. They're just insane, and it's gotten so big. I love it so much. I'm obsessed with this plant. But it's time for a bigger pot, and I have this, which is a clear waste bin, a garbage can that I'm gonna use. And I managed to get / find some gigantic indicators. I'll link these down below because I'm so excited that I found these. But they're kind of perfect for this size of bin. I mean, they might even be a little bit big for this size of bin, but I can put it in there and I don't need to worry about taping it or anything. I can just pop it in and it'll be fine. I got a second one as well of the big ones, and I kind of want to put one into the Regal back there. So let's do this Stingray first, and then we can give the Regal a go, because that's going to be a little bit of effort, but time for this one. That's going to go in there. I should probably put a layer of semihydro down at the bottom. And because this I don't believe has pests, I have checked it over, but I don't believe it has any issues or rot or anything, so I am just going to eventually dump this whole thing in there. But putting a layer of semihydro down first feels like the right thing to do, just to give it like a sort of base to stand on, because right now in this pot the roots are all the way to the bottom of the pot, which has been fine for it. It is okay that they eventually have grown down there. I know that's like a worry in semihydro, that like you're gonna plant the roots too deep. And yes, you can plant the roots too deep, but eventually they will grow down there into the sort of water reservoir. And when they do that, it's fine. Cool. So a nice layer in there. And then let's take this out. I really liked having the indicator in there because it does help the indicators are very useful. They look so weird in this like square shape as well. I think it's quite funny. But I'm just going to pop these down in there and semi-hydro around it, I guess. Oh, you know what? Where's the bigger scoop? I actually got this adorable new scoop. It's 3D printed and it's got a little alocasia on it, which is adorable, but this was actually very kindly sent to me. I feel a little bit bad about this because this was not my intention at all. So you know the open front moss poles that I bought that I found a little bit faffy because I couldn't get them to like go in. I used it on my varicosum and the dubia. The person who I bought those from originally apparently watches my videos and like sent me a whole package with some more moss poles and saying like, sorry you thought that they were faffy, here's like how I would do them, and like sent me them already like made up, which I mean the way they see it and the way they say to do it makes so much more sense. But basically she sent me a package which was like absolutely the sweetest, and this was one of the things in it, like a lovely scoop, and this is just a little bit bigger, which might be useful in doing a big thing like this. But yeah, I was not expecting that. That was like not my intention, and she said thanks for the feedback basically. Because like just because something makes sense to one person doesn't mean it makes sense to like everybody or like the consumer, and maybe I was just being dim. It's quite possible because I am dim sometimes, but I was really struggling with it, and so very, very kind that she sent me a new package. So highly recommend this shop. I will put the name on the screen and link it down below because such a sweetheart, and the poles are better now actually, now that I understand them, and I think she's redesigned them ever so slightly with my feedback, so I'm glad I helped out. But they are great poles, they do the job, and they're UK based, so that is great. But I'm really excited about this little scoop. Well, I mean, I say little scoop, it's a way bigger scoop than my other scoop. I'm gonna use all of my semihydro in this, aren't I? And the great thing about these pots is I still have so much room in there. So if I do need to like repot it bigger, I can just like sort of raise it up in the pot a little bit, because it is, like, I planted it quite deep in there. Happy with that. And now I can use this for a different semihydro thing, maybe a smaller alocasia. Let me get the regal. This might be a little bit of an effort to do the regal because it is so freaking big. Before we do anything, I just wanna size reference this so we have it. Freaking massive thing. It goes up to my chest height. It is huge. I freaking love it. I wonder, this might be kind of sketch, but I wonder if I could just, yeah, it definitely does have some water in it still. Oh shit, just really clobbered, unfortunately. It'll be fine. Basically just seeing if I can pour out. So that's the size of the old indicator I had in there. Freaking tiny. See, what I wonder is if I can just not even repot it fully. Okay, surprisingly the roots have not changed that much. Since putting it in there. Like they're not really any bigger, which I find is really weird. I think that could potentially be because of the watering sitch. Because I've not been able to like pay attention to the water enough. So, because like this is a really dark plastic box, unfortunately. So if I can put that in there, I might try and put it a bit deeper as well. That in there. Get a layer down on the bottom again, because like that's gonna be so much better. I'm actually gonna be able to see it outside of the pot, which I think will make a huge difference. It's just really weird because this one was like really going hard. Maybe like this time last year. But then since then has kind of stopped going as hard. The good thing though is it doesn't smell like raw. That would have me worried. It doesn't smell of rot. I've also seen people like sort of air layer or like put a bit of moss around the sort of this chunk of an anthurium, and I'd be curious to see if it works or helps. So I was thinking about how I could potentially get material of some sort, whether it be moss or semihydro. I was thinking semihydro might be actually quite good because this is in semihydro, but thinking about it more seriously, I think it would dry out and kind of like not be the point of it. So maybe like if I cut a cup kind of up, and like cut out the bottom of it, because I know they make sort of collars. I feel like the place where I got my original front opening moss poles from makes them. Potentially Russo does as well. I'm thinking if I can do like that. That could be like that. And I could put moss in there. I do want it to be clear. That was my first like instinct, is to have it be clear, because then I can like see whether or not the roots are growing into it. Should I pop some moss in there? I mean, I guess there's no harm in it. I don't think it's gonna like rot the plant or anything. So let me grab my moss from the other room. I feel like I keep getting up and down, sorry about that. So Cleo's come to join us. I think she thinks it's her lunchtime, she's got an hour left. But if I just pop some moss in that. I guess it's similar to like it being on a moss pole, almost. And then we can see if we get root growth from it, because we might do. I'm genuinely not positive about it, but I'm pretty sure Claire does stuff like this. So if it works for her, it might work for me. I think the main thing would just be making sure it stays moist. But I can do that. And then just to like close this gap, I've got some Velcro. Oh, Velcro that I can pop around it. Just like that. Just to make sure it maintains its shape. And we can keep an eye on that over the next month or so. I don't know. I don't know how long this will work. I kind of wish I didn't get moss all over the top of the semihydro though. Hey, baby. It is not your playtime. Right, let's water these things and see if they work well enough with these new indicators. Heck yeah. Give that a bit of water as well to get the moss moist. Yes, okay, cool. I really like these. I might need to buy some more of these tall ones because they're perfect. I got some slightly smaller ones as well, but these would be good for things that aren't as tall as these pots. These are like sort of my biggest no drainage things, and so most of them aren't this gigantic, but I really like these. Very happy with that. Pop this back. Oy vey, it's heavy. And actually, I also need to put more moss in my Tycon moss pole because it's doing so well. Oh my god. So I've literally never had a monstera leaf this big in my entire time growing houseplants. It is so beautiful. I am obsessed with it. It's growing so well. And the funny thing is, in the moss pole, it's got a root that's like going upwards, searching for more pole, I guess. So let's pop some more moss in and get it the moisture it deserves. I feel like this one would have been a really good candidate for an open front moss pole. I mean, I think if I could, I would put every single moss pole plant on an open front, just because it makes it sort of easier long term if you want to like change sizes or upgrade. It's just so much easier, and so I kind of wish that I had them from the start, but at the same time I don't need to take this off the moss pole. I have no desire to take it off the moss pole at this point in time. I will eventually have to use my words. I will eventually have to extend the pole, but for now this should be fine for it. I guess we can just put everything back in now. God, that was close to breaking my mirror. I mean, long term, I'm gonna need to find a bigger spot for this. Sorry, Cleo's just rolling around. I'm playing with like literal rubbish. Long term, this is gonna need a new spot. And to be honest, I kind of want this to be more pulled back in there. Whatever, it's fine. That's gonna need a new spot long term, just because it will. And then we can put you back, which this guy has gone fully one-sided at the minute. I'm not surprised because it makes sense. It goes towards the light outwards, but it has gone fully one-sided. I also think that I want to give my Pallidiflorum a bit of a repot. And the thing is, it's just really falling out of the pot here. It's like, it's really going for it. And I feel like it might be nice to have a little bit more support in there. Maybe. I don't think it necessarily needs a repot sort of roots wise, because like there's nothing coming out of the bottom, but just potting it a little bit deeper feels like it could be a good idea for this one, given, I don't know. Okay, yeah, the roots are not, they're not like great, but they're not super duper intense either. They're like pretty average roots. But it'll be nice to pot this a little bit deeper. This is just such an awkward plant because it is so long. Oh, is that a new leaf? That's exciting. Cool. Right. Oh, okay. Also, because this pot doesn't go all the way down to the bottom, this just has loads of water in it, which I might dump out really quick. And the soil it's in is actually fine soil, like I'm not worried about it. So I am just gonna keep using this stuff, but then pop these ever so slightly deeper into the pot. Kind of like there instead. I don't know how well you can see this because I can't really see the frame, but if I can do it like that, would be ideal. It might allow it to get some more roots in there too. There we go. Ever so slightly, just more upright, which I think will be good for it. Not that I was worried that it was gonna like come out of the pot or anything, because I never was, but better safe than sorry. I feel like that's all right for now. Also, I can show off the new leaf on my Wendlingery. Look at that. Super exciting. And in more exciting news, for the first time ever, question mark, my Thanksgiving cactus is popping out new growth, like actually now. And I think that is just because it's in a spot with light. It's actually getting light here. And So that means it can actually grow, which is awesome and very exciting. So that's good. I know I was originally going to do my Sable Blue today, give that spa day as well with the other moss poles, but I think I will leave it for now. And I can do it when I do the ones in the living room. But I think it is time now to get the ones out of the bathtub. They've been in there for several hours at this point, so I think it should be fine. And get them back in here. I can put the stake in that glorious because it definitely needs it. So I'm going to try, maybe I need to do this the other way. Yeah, that would be better. Try to get this freaking gigantic stake. That's kind of the best I'm gonna get. And then I can working. It's gone all the way as far as I can get it to go down. I think it's gone all the way to the bottom, you know. And now, if I lean it against things, it doesn't bend in the same way. I mean, it still does have a slight bend, especially since the stake kind of went off to the side. I wonder if I can get it to, I wish it went down the center of the pole, because right now it's going crap. I mean, there's nothing really I can do about it with this stake. Ideally, I would get a plastic or a metal one going forward, because this still will bend a little bit. Because it's natural, it's gonna have a little bit of bend to it. And with a pole this big, it's just how it's gonna be. So either way, I'm glad I've gotten that done. And now we can pop it back in its spot. Maybe. Pop that back over to hold it in place. And the dubia already has a stake, so it doesn't need another one. But I will reattach this up here. And then with the Splendid, I'm almost tempted to cut this guy off as well. So the last point where it's like properly connected. Did I? And I will prop that with the other one too. There we go. And this one also doesn't have, does it have? Oh no, it does have a pole in here. There's a stake in this one, so I don't need to worry about staking it. I can just pop it back in this really awkward spot there. Okay, I had to close my curtains because it's so bright outside right now and the sun's like quite low in the sky, so it's coming straight in here. But I got my stuff for my Splendid, which I'm actually going to chop slightly more. And the bigger one is calloused over there. I'm tempted to cut it further. I mean, I could go even further than that and cut it there too. No, I'm not gonna do that. But I've got those. So I'm going to pot these into a cup with moss. But I'm also gonna pop into this cup a trellis, just so it can stand up straighter, like that. Just because I think that will help a little bit. that one at least. The rest of them, oh, you're stuck to yourself. The rest of them can kind of just go in and around. And I can put the moss in and be more mindful than I have been previously about not like overstuffing it. Because I think I'm used to stuffing for moss poles, which you want to be like quite tight, but with propagations they still need air in there, so you don't want it to be like fully packed, if that makes sense. So just loosely packing some moss in here. I think that's why people put perlite in with their props as well, because that adds like aeration. That is not a stable being. Okay, that's better. Put a bit more moss in that side. There we go. There we go. That's just gonna have to do for now. I feel like that makes sense. That should be fine. And then I've got my variegated Repotting tetrasperma here, and you can see it's grown like crazy, and I am going to chop her up a little bit and maybe do like 2 leaf cuttings to propagate, and I can always put them, well, my plan is to put them back into the mother plant. That should be good. And I have another cup that I can put moss in. Get some propagations in early spring so that by later in the growing season they'll be ready to put back into the mother plant. And now this one doesn't look quite so insane because this one is slightly more normal. Cool. I'll put this one back on the shelf, and I don't know where I want to put these props. Somewhere I can keep a good eye on them. I decided to put the Splendid one in here, just on the sideboard, because I have access to this space all the time and I can like keep an eye on it. And then the Repotting cuttings are just in here underneath the TV, just so I can keep a good eye on them and make sure that they are getting enough water, staying hydrated, not rotting, fingers crossed, and can keep it growing really well. And I think this is where I'm actually going to end this video now. I got a lot done today and I'm feeling really pleased with the moss pole work I did. I definitely do want to get these poles in the shower sometime soon. That'll probably be a tomorrow task, but I'm not going to include that in this video because it's basically the exact same thing that I did today, minus adding more moss into the poles because they don't need them. But actually, you know what? Before I do that, I want to show you, because I'm excited about it. I wanted to show off my Majestic, because look at these leaves. It is doing so well on here, and these bottom cuttings are getting higher onto the pole. They've reached the second moss pole, which is super exciting, but it is just growing phenomenally. This leaf did get a little bit light bleached. I've shifted the grow light there facing more upwards, so the light's bouncing off the ceiling instead of going directly into these leaves, so I don't continue to burn them. But this one is also just growing phenomenally in here, and I'm so proud of it, so happy for it. And oh my goodness, I can't believe it's doing so well. I mean, I can, because obviously I feel like I'm doing the right things for it, but it took a minute to get to this point. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off before I go. So yeah, we'll put that back really quick. Oh, also I've got, sorry, I feel like I've said I'm gonna end this video and then now I'm giving loads of updates. But last update, I have chopped and propped my Syndapsis trubii mint. And it had a huge long runner with like, I guess it wasn't even a runner because it has leaves, but they're like really small leaves comparatively. And so I have chopped it up and I am soil propagating these ones because I just find like that's kind of my new go-to with viney plants, is to soil propagate them. And I actually probably need to give this a bit of water to make sure that it is hydrated enough and can root well. But I'm very excited about this, and I think this should work and do fine. But this one's really gorgeous. I just love these minty leaves. Like, look at them, so freaking cute. Okay, now I'm gonna get myself out of here. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. If I touched on anything in this video and you want more on that, let me know down below in the comments and I can hopefully make that happen. But otherwise, subscribe for more. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy freaking spring. Thank goodness growing season is actually upon us. Finally. But yeah, hope you're having a great day and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!